I have the plan here
I have the plan here that I will be running
on
every
the
first
first
ever ball.
I
Make
make
sure
sure
I gain the mass.
Start our Monday out with the barbell bench press. I have to use the Smith machine because sadly I'm restricted to a Planet Fitness, but it still gets the job done. If you do an actual barbell, I'd reckon you get even better results anyways. I usually do 2 to 3 warm-up sets, which gets my chest and triceps ready for the workout. I don't even really have to pause between warm-up sets either because I feel like it's very unnecessary. Then I go to my top set. I usually like to start with my top set because if I do it at the end, I'm pretty fatigued and don't have the energy to do it. I do anywhere from 4 to 6 reps, starting out with 4 reps and progressing to 6 over sessions as the weights get easier. For anyone new to the industry, this is actually called progressive overload. Basically just increasing the reps and weight over a certain period of time. I finished my next 2 sets, ending off the 3rd set of bench press with going till failure. But we're not done with the bar yet because we instantly crank that baby up to an incline position to do 2 sets of the incline press. As you can guess, what this does is shift the focus from your whole chest to your upper chest. 6 to 8 is a good range to focus on. I'd like to mention that any sets that are taken within 0 to 4 reps of failure will stimulate growth, if you train and recover correctly, that is. Of course, take the 2nd set to failure. If you're not making silly ass faces, you're not doing it right. But hold on, we are still not done with that Smith machine as we crank it up even higher because we have to do 3 sets of overhead barbell press. 5 to 8 reps is the range I use because a lot of the time I add on new weight and I can barely get it up for 4, so then I kind of just have to stop at 5. You already know it, take the last one to failure before finally cleaning up the machine. Next on the training plan is every lifter's nightmare, lateral raises, where we are doing the dumbbell variation. To add insult to injury, we're gonna do 10 to 15 reps. Yeah, it's mainly because I notice if I go for a higher weight and lower rep on these, my form starts to break down, so yeah. Look at those beautiful faces. I should have a lifting montage of where I record all my pretty little lifting faces. Failure, though disheartening, is the first step to success. Kind of just means take the last set to failure. Take it to failure. I don't know why I was trying to be poetic there. Okay, let's just move on. The seated dip machine. This thing is fun, gotta say. If your triceps are blasted, it feels like hell, but if you're fresh, it's pretty damn good. You already know it, 6 to 10 reps for 3 sets. Take the 2nd set to failure, but then let's implement what I call drop sets for the last set, where basically you go to failure, drop the weight, go to failure, drop the weight until you kind of just can't do it anymore.
But aren't they super fatiguing?
Editor Robert, add like a little nerd emoji that gets bitch slapped away. Because who the fuck cares if it's too fatiguing? I like them. Is it a little bit masochistic? Yeah. But you're at the gym, you're not here to feel good. You're here to feel like you hate yourself. We then fall over onto our next machine, which is the tricep extension machine. I know you can do it on the cables, but to be honest, I prefer this machine because I've always been able to push myself harder on this one, so it's just what I stick with. 3 sets, 10 to 12, take the 2nd set to failure and make the last set a drop set. So by now you'd figure, aren't you done? No, we're never done here. In other words, all you have left is 3 sets of leg raises, 8 to 15. Yay. Recently, I switched to a hanging variation because I've needed more of a challenge, so I'm still getting used to it. Laugh at me if you want, but I think the form is pretty okay. And that's the end of our Monday. Make sure to eat some good carbs and protein afterwards.
We walk into the gym on this fine Tuesday and immediately hit up that barbell row. The same machine that science-based lifters tell you not to do. Don't listen to them. I usually warm up with 2-ish sets or so before hitting my top set. We'll be doing this movement in the 6 to 8 rep range. Make sure you're pushing yourself, but watch that form, especially when you're doing back. This one's an easy one to mess up on, trust me. Just do 4 sets, taking the last 2 to failure, destroying your back just enough to feel it, but not to impact performance. Next, we're doing the classic, the original lat pull downs. I use a wide grip and do like 6 to 10 reps. Side note, I only just started doing these like a couple months ago since my training plan lacked them. I'm still getting used to them. We'll do 3 sets, take the 2nd set to failure, and implement a good old drop set for the last one, which sadly, I didn't get in the video. So I'll show an example of some reused footage. You basically go to failure, drop the weight, go to failure, drop the weight. And yeah, it's kind of taxing, but until you can't do it anymore. Now, I've always done seated rows, which is our next spot, but recently I've switched to this variation just because I find I'm less inclined to ego lift on this one. You know it, 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps. Take the 2nd set to failure. Remember when I said I have the back issues of an old man in another video? Yeah, this is probably why. My spine probably looks like a damn pool noodle at this point. Next is my favorite machine in the gym. You already know it, chest flies? Not exactly. It's the same machine though, just on a different setting. Basically, set it backwards and you have reverse delt flies. We do 3 sets, but then a slightly higher range at about 12, 15 reps, give or take. week. I'm pretty sure I only did 11 for this recording, so like, you get the point. It doesn't have to be perfect. Take the second set to failure. Make third a drop set, and let's head over to that dumbbell rack. Bicep curls, the classic, probably the most used exercise of all time. Remember the good old days when all you wanted was big biceps and abs? Well, now you have big biceps and realize you actually want a bigger back, a bigger chest, bigger legs, and bigger shoulders. Those abs also never came to be, by the way. And well, do I have a disappointment for you? They're not coming anytime soon, buddy. Although, I'm getting a little small, so it is bulking time. 3 sets of these is all you need, between the 8 to 10 rep range. Try to take the last set to failure, but as long as you train them properly, control the negative, your biceps will be freaking huge. Dumbbell hammer curls are next, where we only do 2 sets of 12 though, so it's a bit higher. Last to failure before heading it on to the last exercise of the day. Get a bench and a tiny weight, cause it's forearm time. I swear, what's with forearms' inability to grow? It's not even like mine aren't weirdly shredded, but they're tiny. So that's why we're doing 3 sets, 10 to 15, taking all of them to failure.
Holy, isn't that too many sets to failure?
Hell nah, it's forearms. We're using like fucking 10 pounds for these bad boys. You know the drill. Wrapping up, we head over to the water dispenser and guzzle it down. Not the water, but the machine itself, because this is a quite taxing workout. We wake up on this cloudy Wednesday to 4 sets of barbell back squats. We're going heavy because the range we're doing is 4 to 6 reps. Getting depth is important, but to be honest, I'm not as a control freak as some people are.
Like, you need to pause 3.2 seconds between reps. Do a mile up for a quarter of the time and controlling the negative.
Like, yeah, no, as long as you throw on some heavy ass weights and hope you don't crush yourself, yeah, you'll progress. Switching the machine down, we have probably my least favorite exercise, and that's Romanian deadlifts. I'm already slightly negative towards hamstrings. Like, these things are both tough and impossible to grow, and now we have like this, 3 sets for 8 to 12 reps. You might have noticed I haven't said to go to failure on any of these yet. Is some like me? A little bit, honestly. And that's because I fear failing on legs. Like, I feel like I'm gonna tear something every time I'm going to failure on legs, save for the machines, you know? So all the failure sets, keep in mind, are gonna be machines, basically. We then head over to the single hardest machine in the gym, and that's the freaking sled leg press. Oh my Lord. You can press a TLC contestant for like a dozen reps, but it's so tough to do. We do like 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps. This time, paying attention not to go to failure, actually. Like, this is the one time I'm gonna say, make sure you don't go to failure. Because like, what psychopath goes to failure on leg press? That is just such a thing. Seated leg curls. Okay, I have mixed emotions with this machine. For one, it actually works. I can tell I'm hitting my hamstrings well with this one, but it's not very easy to progress on, I'm gonna be honest. We do 3 sets, 10 to 12, finally taking one of them to failure, being the second, before doing a drop set for number 3. Again, I don't have footage for this specific day of me doing a drop set, so I'm gonna keep milking that chest dip drop set. First, you go to the can't no more, then you drop the weight, go to failure, drop the weight, go to failure, and yeah, we don't have many of these in leg day. You can pretty easily tell why. We then head over to another leg press, a more seated variant. Nope, and it's calf time. It's not actually a calf machine, but I'm gonna be honest, this is how I started training calves, and it's just what I've stuck with the entire time. It works so. Actually, now that I'm maxing out the machine, I think I probably could just switch to the normal sled leg press, so I might do that one day. Yeah, you get the point. 3 sets at a pretty high range. This time we're doing 13, not 13, 12 to 15 reps, which yeah, is a bit high for leg day, but who cares? Of course, take the second set to failure and make the third a drop set. Moving on to the final weight. Already on the last machine of the day? Hell yeah, we are. If you're training legs properly, you don't need as much as the other muscle groups, since it's so taxing mainly. As I was saying, cable crunches. Basically just grab a cable machine, get the little rope grippy thingy. What the fuck am I saying in my script? I kid you not, I need to think better when I'm scripting these things. And do a crunch motion. Make sure your hips aren't swaying and do 3 sets, 10 to 12. Try to take the last set to failure, but it's whatever. At this point in the day, you'd be lucky to have not skipped core. It's a leg day.
Let's turn to Thursday. Now, our second push day of the week isn't that much different, but it's just different enough to note about it. We start out doing barbell bench again. 3 sets, this time 6 to 8 reps, and incline, 2 sets, 6 to 8 reps too. You know it, take the last one of each till failure. Here's where the deviation comes in though. We head over to my personal favorite machine in the gym, the chest flies machine. I will die on this hill. I don't care if it's exactly optimal for training. Sometimes you have to have a little bit of fun during training just so you can keep yourself sane. Of course, we have 8 to 10 reps and 3 sets, making sure to take the last set to failure. Next is a weirdly awkward but fun movement, which is the overhead dumbbell press. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, you know. Now this may sound stupid, but within the 6th rep range, we're actually gonna do 4 sets, taking the last 2 to failure. Nerds incoming, nerds incoming. Yeah, I know, I'm supposed to manage my fatigue. That's probably why I feel like an old man walking around with back issues all the time, but you have to push yourself. And with something like overhead dumbbells, it's definitely something great to push yourself on. Sadly, moving on, we have lateral raises, evil step cousin, cable laterals. This thing is the devil. One week you'll do like 25 pounds. The next you can't even do 15. Nevertheless, we gotta do it. 12 to 15 reps of 3 unfortunate sets, taking the last set to failure. It'll make you feel like a failure too. Just as a side note. Of course, we have our prized tricep extensions. 3 sets of 10 to 12. Take the second to failure, and the last is a drop set. Even if you feel so crap from all the volume, trust me, the gains are worth it. Finally, rounding out our push days of the week, we head over once again to the hanging leg raises, where we do another 3 sets for 8 to 15. Just as a little side note, a lot of the times when I do my hanging leg raises, I just pair it with my lateral raises. It's just to save time, to be honest.
Moving on, let's go to our next pull day of the week, Friday, the best day of the week. So let's talk wings. Let's grow these guys because I need a bigger back. So we're gonna start off with 4 sets of lat pull downs for 6 to 10 reps, taking the last 2 sets to failure. Don't mind this, it's the same outfit. Yeah, it is reused footage, maybe. We then flop down onto our next machine, which is the cable row using the V grip handle. This one is unique to say the least, but I like it. It's like fun, but odd, like me. That's all that matters. We then grab a weight. I use a 25 right now specifically, and head over to the back extender. It says extender in the script. You know what? I'm just gonna stick with that. The back extender. It's a bit like a saw torture device, but it gets a deep stretch in, which feels like you are reviving your soul from the spine up. 3 sets for 12 to 15 reps. Try to take the last set to failure, but it's hard since you drop the weight and end up like being able to do a lot more, so it's a bit taxing. Back to the get it? Back to the, we're doing pull day. Daniel. Back to the best machine in the gym. We're doing 3 sets for 12 to 15 reps on the reverse delt flies. Again, doing a failure set for numero dos and a drop setio for numero tres. Bicep time. Preacher curls are fun as hell. Even if it looks like I'm going to shit myself this entire shot, just pretend I'm smiling because this is one of the better movements, to be honest. We end up doing 3 sets of 8 to 10. Destroy your biceps with failure for the last set. But keep in mind, we still have one more bicep thing planned for this week, and that's the single arm cable curls. I don't know what makes this machine so fun, but it just is, I guess. We only have 2 sets, taking the second to failure, but within the 10 to 12 rep range, this one gets a really good deep stretch in, so make sure you're really feeling it. We're not done yet though, because we have the most evil, vile, disgusting exercise left. That's to do 3 sets of wrist curls. This time, palms down, 10 to 15 reps. Yeah, this is all we have left. Somehow, this one makes forearm training even more sucky. I don't even know how that's possible. With the days numbered, that comes to the end of our pull days. I hope you learned a thing or two. After all, that's what this channel is about. For, actually, not about. If you're enjoying my content, please like and subscribe. Or if you want to check out the push part of my push-pull leg split, you can click here as well. Thanks for watching again. I hope you join me another time, and I'll see you another time, my friend. On Sunday, we walk into the gym, blessed by the Lord, ready to shred some quads. Believe it or not, we do barbell squats again, this time for 3 sets, 4 to 6 again, just because we're gonna have a bit more quad action today. Believe it or not, I give leg day a lot of shit, but I have to say, I honestly love it. Getting to push yourself in such a way is pretty fun. You get to see the fruits of your hard labors. It's all worth it, to be honest. And if you skip leg day, number 1, you're weak. And number 2, you're also skipping out on probably the most important part of the gym, and that's the discipline it takes to show up every day. The discipline, giving it your all. The discipline of sweating your ass off every time you go to the gym and literally pushing past your limits and going where you've never thought you could have gone before. Leg extensions. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, this is probably why I like leg day so much. It's fun, progressive. It's definitely the best leg movements of like this entire freaking video. This is the best. 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps, taking the third and fourth set to failure. It's pretty fun, but it's pretty taxing. And that's why I'd like to mention, bringing intro workouts is a good idea. Please do it. Ever since I did, I noticed a boost in performance. Whatever it is, just make sure it's between 100 and 200 calories of pretty good fast digesting carbs, mainly fast digesting carbs actually. I bring like a blueberry Nutri-Grain bar. I actually have a couple downstairs right now. We then do the seated leg curls, nothing special, 3 sets, 10 to 12, taking the second set to failure and making the third a drop set. Same with calf extensions, same machine, same movement, 3 sets, 12 to 15. Second is also to failure and third is a drop set. But then comes an important deviation, and that's the abductors and the adductors. after. We do 2 sets of each, 12 to 15 each again. Taking the second set of failure each. It's a little tough because you max out the machine basically anytime you start training it. A good way to do it is to actually swap from one to another. It's quicker and more convenient, especially if you have a gym bro. I wish I had a gym buddy. Yeah, you see, I had no one to record me. Then why do I have these clips, you ask? Well, take a look again. Maybe it was a hidden camera. Maybe it was an alien. Maybe it was a ghost. Maybe it's AI. No, well, I kind of just got whoever could record me for each of these days to do the clip. So shout out to everyone who helped me record, actually. Thank you. And finally, we head over to a well-known machine. This is the finale of our push-pull leg split, and that's the cable crunches one last time. 3 sets, 10 to 12, doing a little failure for numero trace.